Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today I have another collage video to share. I'm starting my page by just sticking down different papers to the background using my glue stick. I'm using leftover pattern papers and also these leftover painted papers where I clean my tools and such. So I have always nice colorful backgrounds to use as collage elements. It's Friday today and it's still Corona time, so I have uploaded another free printable to my website. You will find it linked up in the description box. The journal that I'm working in is a handmade one. I made 3 signatures from different kinds of papers and I added them to a cover that was made from craft tags. It's not my favorite journal as it has so many pages. It has become so bulky and that's not my favorite way to work because I can't lie it flat and it's hard to stamp inside. But I don't want to keep it half empty, so I always create pages in it. This grid paper is from a paper pad from my daughter. I really like the black marks she made on it and I asked her if I can have it for my journaling, and of course she gave it to me. When I'm done with sticking down all my papers, I use some white gesso and blend in the background. I also cover up most of the black paper that is peeking through. That spatula tool I'm using is normally meant to be used in the kitchen. I found a set on Amazon with about 5 inside. And it was not very expensive and I thought I would give it a try, and I think it's the best tool to apply gesso or gel medium. The gesso that I'm using here is a heavy gesso. I like to use it when I need a more opaque white color. And when I just prime my pages that are already white, I just use the normal gesso. When the gesso is dry, I add some texture to the background with some mixed media stamps. As I want to go on top with watercolors later in the process, I'm using StazOn ink. It's permanent and will not bleed when I add watercolors. As always, I have close-up images of the project on my blog, and there is a link in the description box as well. And here you see me adding the watercolors. I just play intuitively and I really like the different textures you get on the gessoed areas and on those that are not gessoed, because the colors behave differently. This is the favorite part of the process. I love adding color and just playing on the page, and I feel it's a really relaxing thing. My focal images today will be some watercolor florals I have painted. I really enjoy painting watercolor flowers, and I took a lot of Skillshare classes where I learned a lot, and this is something I just can recommend. Try out Skillshare. I have a link for you in my description box where you can do this 2 months for free, and you just have to cancel in time and then you won't pay anything. And the classes over on Skillshare, compared to the most YouTube classes, are really in-depth and detailed, and that's something I really like, because you pay for it, you get some really good content, I would say, and the teachers there really want you to teach something, and that's what I love about it. And it's also, if you have a subscription, and I have a subscription, not very pricey. They have regularly some sales going on where you can get the subscription for 40% off, and I can't really remember, but I think I paid about 60 euros for the whole year. It's not that much, and I think it's really worth it. Here you see me cutting out some circles. I used one of the papers I have already used to create the background of those pages, and I just cut out the circles freehand and then I glue them down. I also have a link in the top right corner info box of a process video where I paint some loose watercolor flowers. When I'm adding elements to a page, I often use a odd number, because that's something that makes a page more interesting. I also often use complementary colors. Here you can see I've used kind of an orange color with that blue, and that is also something that makes a page look interesting. And also the fact that I have a high contrast on the page, that means really light areas and really dark ones. The flowers are painted on the StazOn mixed media paper. It's a, I believe, 160 GSM paper with a fine rough texture, I would say, and I really love this for watercolors. Of course, it's not comparable to a real 100% cotton watercolor paper, but for practicing it's just perfect, and it's of course not very expensive. Before I stick down the flowers, I add a little bit more stamping. I always arrange my elements and then I look if there could be something that makes the page even more interesting. I'm also using that glue stick to adhere the flowers. It's the Tombow glue stick and it's my absolute favorite one. I had never anything coming off with it, and you have a lot of time to correct the position if you're not happy, and it also doesn't dry out if you leave the cap open. It just gets a dry coat on top and you can remove it and then your stick works again. Unfortunately, I think it's not available in the US. The watercolors I'm using are different ones. I don't use the ones from Arteza because they are not my favorites. I really love the mich Mission Gold watercolors, but they are a little bit more pricey for beginners. And what I also really like are the Rosa Gallery watercolors. They are from the Ukraine, and I think they are not available everywhere. I found my set on Amazon for about 36 euros, or was it only 30 euros? I can't remember. And it is in a metal tin, and I got 28 full pens. And their colors are really amazing, I think, and they are perfect for beginners. What I also really like are the White Knights, but in their bigger set with the 36 colors, I had about six colors that were not very pigmented, and I just pulled them out because I would not use them, I think. Here I'm masking off the flowers because I want to add some white splatters to the page to make it look more vibrant. And that's my page for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope we see us next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!